Hi, Mart here, and welcome back to another episode of Draw Every Day. And in today's episode, I'm gonna talk about how to draw hands, and it's gonna be more specific than normally, because normally I'm just talking about like some major theme or like some general things, and now I'm gonna talk about how to draw hands and how I approach drawing hands. The drawing hands is like the most complicated thing to draw because there are like so many. The fingers can get in so many angles and it's super hard to actually get right if you're not approaching it right. I still can draw hands without reference, but yeah, I learned a few gestures just to pull them off, when I'm creating character or doing some painting and I'm too lazy to look up some reference of hands. I just pull out one of these, learned gestures and use them. For example, I know I have this and like normal hanging hand or like fist or this weird fisty thing. Yeah, I learned these just to give my drawing some kind of variety, but it's not enough. I have to learn still more and more and more and kind of get better at it. So I'm using a reference, and the reference is my hand, and the main thing I'm trying to capture when I look at these hands, I'm trying to capture the form of them and outside boundaries, So I'm starting with the oval for, when you look at your palm and there's your thumb and this little muscle thingy. I'm using this oval to define how the hand looks. Usually when you can see palm, I'm using the oval for that. If you can't see palm, I'm just using the whole shape. I'm trying to figure out the whole shape first, and then I'm making more complicated. But when I see palm, I start with this oval for the thumb, and then do this another thing, like another shape for the rest of it. It's always connected with these two, because I know that I can do this, This is where the hand breaks and curves here, and that's why I'm using this. So I can separate these two things. Also, another thing is the curve here over the knobs. That's really important to know. This curve defines how this shape, a non-thumb shape, will look to me. And when I see the palm, I'm just going kind of more complicated. So drawing this oval for this, and then the rest of the palm first. Then I usually do this part, the thumb index finger, because I know this curve and I know the connections between these two and how it works. And then I try to figure out the rest of the fingers. It's way easier if you have some starting point for that as a reference for relations between these two fingers. For example, if you see hand like this, you see, you draw your index finger and you know that it's pretty much the same length as the rest of the palm. So you draw your index finger, and now you see, hey, index finger, and that's about the half distance. So now I know how high is this one. And you can go with the relations from the stuff that you already drew, how to make the rest of it. And that's how I'm approaching drawing hands, usually when I can see the palm. When I can't see the palm, I'm starting with the boundary box. I just if I can't see the palm, I see something like that, I just start a boundary box without thumb usually, because the thumb is easier way for me to draw, to add at the end of the drawing. So I just do the boundary box of this. I just see 1, 2, 3, and 4, and just cut it here. And then I'm trying to make it more complicated, add the details to the boundary box. This is how I approach drawing hands. And I think it's quite effective way how to do it. You don't really have to understand the hand if you're doing it from reference. And it kind of helps you, the first approach with the thumb helps you kind of understand what you're looking at. And this is just shape language. You're just doing the shapes. Because I didn't came up with any better solution for this part. But yeah, hopefully I will in the future and I will be better at drawing hands. And once again, I really want to thank you for the stream yesterday. It was super awesome, and I couldn't even imagine that it would went so well. And yeah, I really looking forward to do it again sometimes. I'm not sure, like it's definitely not going to be anything regular, like, you know, on a weekly basis or something like that. But like once in a month or once in a few weeks, I'm really into do these kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that, just let me know in the comments and we can do another stream, and maybe in some different time, because some people couldn't get it, like couldn't catch it. So maybe we make some different better time next time, or maybe a different day. I'm not sure right now. So that's pretty much it for this episode. I just wanted to talk about drawing hands because, you know, it's the daily thing, and one of the daily studies should be also drawing hands. This is like the warm-up: sketch, feet, hands, and ears are actually quite difficult as well. So these three, just try to put them in your studies. It's really useful. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow.